part 2 of my final ever bridal makeup trial. I've got to do this makeup for real on my face in 6 days on my wedding day because I chose to do my own makeup. In the previous video I did my eyes, and now I'm going to move on to my skin, brows and lips. I did clean up a little bit of eyeshadow fallout underneath my eyes, so I'm just reapplying my Bobbi Brown face base just in the areas where I cleaned up. I did also do skin prep before I started my eyes in the previous video so that it's had time to really sink in. For primer, I've packed this Maybelline Grippy Primer. I've honestly been loving this recently. It's got a really nice kind of like tacky feel into it, but it's not sort of too heavy and gloopy on the skin. I am also going to use some of the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer. I'm just going to take the tiniest little bit of this and just put this basically just beside my nose. This will just help to like fill in any of those little pores and just to make my makeup go on really smooth. I don't like this over my whole entire face though. For foundation, I'm going to make a little cocktail, and we're all just going to have to collectively agree to not comment on the fact that my neck and my body are not going to match, because on the wedding day I'm going to have a spray tan. Evidently today I do not have a spray tan, but I still want to use the exact foundations that I'm going to be using on my day. So I've mixed together in here the Dior Face and Body Foundation along with a Bobbi Brown foundation and also the Inglot Duraline. The Inglot Duraline thing is basically supposed to make your makeup last all day, so that's why I really want to try it today, because I've never actually tried that hack before. Didn't want to try something new on my wedding day just in case it doesn't work for me for whatever reason. So I'm going to leave this makeup on my face today for quite a long time, as long as I can, to be honest, just so that I can really see how long my makeup is going to last for. For bronzer, I'm using this bronzing stick from Nude Sticks. I don't want to look overly like I've got too much bronzer on the day, if I'm being honest. I just feel like it does look a little bit kind of unnatural, so I'm going to go around the edges and blend it in really good with my foundation brush so that we can't see any lines and it just looks like a little wash of colour. I used this blush the other day and oh my god, it's such a perfect shade. I know I've said about using my House Labs one, and I still might, but I know how the House Labs one looks on my skin, so I kind of want to see how this one looks today in the trial. I'm going to come back to that blush and perfect it in a minute, but now for concealer I'm using an equal mix of the Lancome All Over Concealer and the Huda Beauty Faux Filter Concealer. These two together are like a little dream team. They last so well on the skin, and for me, I do suffer with like creasing under my eyes, but for whatever reason these ones just give me the best results throughout the day. I don't find that I get too creasy with these. Before I powder my under eyes, I'm going to take these really sharp cotton buds and I'm just going to really carefully drag this along that line where my eye has already creased and just remove that excess product there. This is just going to help with the creasing as well, because I'm going to have this makeup on from literally about probably 10 o'clock in the morning till midnight. Powdering with my Huda Beauty loose powder. This is just the best powder in my opinion. For the rest of my face, I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario loose powder on a brush, and I'm just going to press this into my skin. For powder bronzer, I'm going to go in with my Physicians Formula One. This is just the most blendable bronzer in my opinion, and you just can't really go wrong with it, because if you do apply too much you can just blend it back out again. I don't know what is in this bronzer, but it's just the best in my opinion for powder anyway. I'm using this blush here for powder blush, which I know looks really scary, but I have done this blush combo before and it honestly came out so beautiful. I'm going to go over with a really small amount of the Ciate blush in the shade Tempt Me. This is a little bit more glowy, so it's going to bring a bit of life back to my skin. Right, now is the point where I'm going to spray my face. I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario Setting Mist. I'm trying not to get this on my eyes too much. I just filled in my brows as I always do, and now I've pretty much just got left some finishing touches and my lips. So for lips, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to use my Jadine Sarah lip stain, purely because it just lasts so long and it just doesn't smudge. So like for the first kiss and stuff and just throughout the day, I'm not going to need to worry about topping it up. For actual lip colour, I think last time in my last trial I tried a colour that was just way too like distracting for the overall look. So today I'm going to choose more of like a really sort of neutral colour. I used to be obsessed with this shade from P. Louise. This is the shade Semi Nude. For gloss, I'm going to use this Made by Mitchell one in the shade On the Dance Floor. This has just got such a beautiful little sparkle to it. I'm going to take my KJH highlighter in the shade Light Pink just to add a tiny little bit of glow to the tops of my cheeks. Right, it's time to add some body glow. This is the Made by Mitchell one, and I'm just going to add this kind of sparingly to my collarbones, and also I'm going to do like the tops of my shoulders a little bit as well. Almost forgot, I'm going to pop on some of this L'Oreal Infallible spray as well. Okay, so this is the finished look. This is a little something like how it will look on the day. I just popped on a veil. This isn't the veil I'm going to wear, but just for dramatic effect so we can really get a good look at how it will all come together. I know I've said this every single time, but I think that this is the best trial that I have done and the closest to what I will do on the day. But yeah, I'm so happy with how this came out, and I can't believe it's going to be only 6 days until I'm doing this again for real.